I just want to say they don't care about you. They'd rather make money. And if you died, they'd have somebody doing it for you the next day.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
We got somebody else wanted to get in on the boss bashing hotline on this International Workers' Day.
We got about 2 minutes.
We got about, well, you know what? Yeah, we got about 2 minutes. Well, let's get in there and we let's get you in here. And if you if it goes longer, we can bring you in on the other side of the break. We had it was Michael from North Carolina. Michael, what you got for us?
Hey, how's it going? Listen, happy May Day from beautiful Western North Carolina. How is everybody today?
All right.
Oh man, I'm doing good.
Welcome.
I just wanted to call and say how much I appreciate what y'all are doing, how important it is, and how much of a rich labor history we have here in the South.
Yes.
And for putting the red back in redneck.
There
Yes.
you go.
Hell yeah.
Truth.
I just want to say I'm tired of seeing all my Southern brothers and sisters licking boots and kissing ass to the boss. And my experience through this pandemic is I won't say what I do, but I was really essential. And we were just thrown to the wolves.
Yeah.
They didn't even mandate masks until about 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
So I just want to say they don't care about you. They'd rather make money. And if you died, they'd have somebody doing it for you the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
They only
exactly
care about
solidarity with
you.
y'all.
Yeah, they only
And,
care about you to the extent that you are able to profit, make profits for them. At that point, then it's over with.
That's right, David. So listen, I just wanted to say thank y'all and happy May Day. And I hope you have a good weekend and keep up the good work.
Thanks for calling, bro.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
brother.
much.
Appreciate it. Happy May Day. Yeah. That's exactly right. And, you know, that's important for folks to understand, like thinking that you've got a commitment to an employer or something. You know, I was talking to somebody yesterday about these coal miners going on strike, and they said that they just didn't feel like it was right because they agreed to do a job and now they're not doing a job and they agreed to it. And it's like, they agreed to do the job in the same way that the company agreed to pay them, which is at any time and for any reason revocable because we live in an at-will state. And if you don't think for a second that the minute it becomes just inconvenient, not even you're taking food off their table, the second it becomes inconvenient for a company to continue to hire you, you're gone.
Well, they agreed to do a job under a previous contract where they were paid $7 and $8 an hour more.
Right.
And they gave up that $7 or $8 an hour to profit the company.
Yeah.
Now they're asking for it back.
Yeah. We'll be right back. This is the Valley Labor Report.
You're listening to the Valley Labor Report.
We are back. This is the Valley Labor Report live online and on the radio from Athens, Alabama. We are coming to you on this International Workers' Day, the real Labor Day, May the 1st. It is May Day, everybody, and we have opened the lines for boss bashing on International Workers' Day. The phone number is 1-866-494-9866 if you want to get in on that. So... yeah, you know, I want to dwell on that the mine worker stuff a little bit more and preview. I can't lay everything out on the table that we've got planned, but we've got some cool stuff planned, I think, for the next couple of weeks, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of tidbit of what we've got in mind. But yeah, the mine workers, we've gone over this before, and so I won't dwell on it too much, exactly the history, but they took huge concessions, including an $8 an hour pay cut, to save the company. The company was saved, and now they want parity with other coal miners. They want what they had back before the company went bankrupt. They're not asking for anything crazy. That's something that they've stressed over and over and over when I've talked to them. They just want what they had before. Currently, they're making what miners did back in the 90s. I mean, it's not fair what they're being asked to accept. And the idea that
look, if all these other supervisors and managers and owners are making what they were making before, Why not? What's fair? At what point is it no longer fair for everybody else in this company to make more plus $30,000 a quarter bonuses? $30,000 per quarter bonuses for the supervisors out there, and we don't want to pay the workers a dime more. The actual people that shovel that coal out of the hole 2 miles deep,
risking their lives.
Their lives. We've got, I know of at least one memorial for mine workers that passed away in 2001. They are the ones that generate the profits. If there's one group that deserves a fair share to be paid,
it's coal miners.
It is the people that are shoveling that coal out, and those are tough folks. I would never want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. And I mean, it really, why should, the better question is not, the question folks ought to be asking is not, well, why don't they just do the job that they signed up for? It's why don't the executives, why don't they make a reasonable wage? Why did they get $4 million a year? Why did they get 5, 10, 20, $1 billion a year? What did they do to earn that? They didn't go 2 miles below the surface of the earth every day, 6, 7 days a week for 10 hours a day without a paid lunch break. They didn't work for it. They just sit on money, and they get more money through other people's wages and through investments, and they buy products of other people's labor. They didn't do anything for it, by and large. In a lot of these instances, you can talk to me about how maybe there are some, in a lot of, especially in these big companies, the CEOs, they basically outsource the actual executive and administrative work to the board of directors or to middle managers or things like that.
Consulting firms that they bring in.
Yeah. So in a lot of these places, they're literally not doing anything. But let's say even that a boss, there is some executive and administrative work that has to be done in a company. Okay, we can compensate them for that. Is that work worth more than 300 times the median employee of a given company? No, of course not.
They're the welfare class.
They
are the welfare class.
Exactly.
They are living off the labor of other people.
Exactly. Whatever work you can show me that an executive of any given firm does, you cannot make me believe that it is 300 times more valuable than the work of the median laborer. I'm not even talking about the average CEO to median worker ratio in this country is 320 to 1. It's not CEO to the lowest paid worker. It's CEO to the median worker is 320 to 1, and that is the average. In some companies, the disparity is 1,000 to 1. That is absurd.
And we don't hate these people. Let's point out the fact that everybody deserves a living wage.
Sure.
We don't think that
they should be homeless.
No, but there should be a shared wage.
Right.
There should be a share of the profits. And at the point that they don't want to share the profits, I'm of the opinion that we should take over the businesses, and the workers should run the business. You don't deserve to make this amount of money, this obscene profits, while people are living in squalor, while people are having to work more than one job. It's unfathomable that in this country, in the richest country in the world, that this continues to happen, and that the people that work alongside them, maybe in another industry, actually take up for these rich CEOs that don't even live in your state, that don't pay taxes in your state, that don't pay for your kids' T-ball shirts whenever they need shirts printed. It's exploitation at the utmost level, and it's sickening that there's bootlickers out there that work just like the rest of us and will take up for these companies.
Yeah. I mean, there's just no sense in it. They don't, Elon Musk doesn't know your name. He doesn't care about you, right? So all of your bootlicking online is not gonna, make him notice you, right? I mean, it's not.
I actually read last week that he has filed with the SEC to change his name on the ownership papers of one of his companies. I can't remember which one. To Techno Lord.
Yeah.
Techno Lord.
And
is it
delusional?
Is it no wonder that he thinks he's a king?
And the mythology around him is so crazy. I brought up Elon Musk but the mythology around him is insane. It's like they reckon he's some like startup guy who he was poor and he started a company in his garage. His parents own emerald mines. They owned emerald mines in apartheid South Africa.
Yeah.
Apartheid South Africa.
Wonder what those conditions were like.
Yeah, that's like getting rich off of convict lease labor in the Jim Crow South on a cotton plantation, and then having like he didn't. It just blows my mind that people think that he deserves billions of dollars to be the second most.
And most of his business is funded by government funds.
Yes.
Most of his business is funded by the taxpayers. They raise him up as some type of private. What would you call
Entrepreneur.
it?
Entrepreneur, yeah.
But most of his funds come from taxpayer dollars,
Right.
subsidies from the government. So,
Right. Well, in the form of contracts that they have with the federal government, and in the form of like literal tax subsidies and grants and bailouts and things like that.
he's the P.T. Barnum of our time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even down here in Alabama, all these jobs that they brag about growing and bringing here, almost in every case, it is a slew of tax subsidies, tax write-offs. I mean, it is a form of legal bribery.
Yeah.
They are bribing these companies to come down here. And, of course, they're advertising that we have non-union labor,
Right.
by and large. And I think all this illustrates why it is so important that we grow the labor movement and that we actually build power among ordinary working people, because the trends have gotten worse. It has gotten worse over the past 50 years. These disparities that you're talking about with CEO pay, and wealth inequality, period. So that's why it is so. That's why we do what we do, because we want to grow our numbers.
And that's illustrated in the data of like CEO to worker pay, but it's illustrated in the anecdotal story of the mine workers here in Alabama. If you listen to our episode that we collaborated with working people on, Lee said that one of his friends talked like his grandfather told him that what the company is asking these folks to work for is less than they made in the 90s at the same coal mine. And this is after 2 years of record-breaking production and profit for this company, after 6 years of enormous concessions by the workers. And so they're still on strike. They've been on strike now for 4 or 5 weeks.
This is the fifth week.
And it looks like they're going to be on strike for quite a while more. And so they're going to need all of our support. And I reckon it's looking like it's going to be a knockdown, drag out kind of thing, and it costs money to keep these people fed, because they don't get paychecks from the company while they're out on strike. They get strike checks from the union, which are like heavily diminished from what they would get when they were working. I don't know exactly what it is, but they get some funds from the union, but and the union in addition to that also tries to make sure that they're kept fed, and they have water and Gatorade and stuff on the picket lines, and that's costing a lot of money.
And let me tell you this, when there's people out there, and especially people in the state of Alabama, that says, why should we support the mine workers? Why should we care about them getting a raise? I'll tell you why. Because the money that they get from that raise will go directly back into our community and into our state, as opposed to going to some Wall Street executives.
That's right.
Some hedge funding, venture capitalists, vulture capitalists, in some faraway state. The money that these folks will make will go directly back into our community, and that is important.
Yeah.
That is the most important thing that we can do in our state, is to raise the wages, because when we raise the wages in the state, we are creating more consumers. They are spending more money. They're buying more vehicles. They're going out to eat more. The money that the company makes is not going back into the community. It's going into somebody's private jet.
Yeah.
It's going into more investments into stock markets that you'll never see. We've got to pay more people more money. And you say, well, if we pay the waitresses at Ruby Tuesdays an extra $2 an hour, it's going to cost us more to eat there. Yeah, it's going to cost us a few cents more per meal to eat there. The amount of money that we will generate back into the community by paying them more will increase the economy in the state of Alabama. Don't let these idiot right-wing conservative people tell you that it's going to take money out of your pockets. It's not.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.